Okay, welcome neighbors to Miracle Farm 1927 Homestead. And today's kind of an odd video for me. Don't usually do kind of stuff like this, but today I kind of wanted to go around and show you all of our equipment and future projects. And this will help me too. This video is going to help me with the future projects, so I know kind of what I need to do next and stuff like that, and I can keep track of it. But anyway, I wanted to show you all some of our equipment, like I said, and some of our future projects. So first one we have over here is a good old Ford 3000 diesel. This is kind of our trusted tractor of the homestead. It does everything, does all our plowing, disking, bush hogging. Pretty much, you got the bush hog behind it now. I grew up on this tractor. It's just a good old farm tractor. It needs some attention pretty soon. We gotta rebuild the injection pump and rebuild the hydraulic cylinders for the steering, but besides that, it's a good old running tractor. A few pieces of equipment. We got some equipment out there in our pasture. There's a tractor. I don't know if we'll really do anything with it, but I'm thinking about putting the wheels and tires on another tractor. But anyway, there it is. It's old Massey Harris. I'm not sure what kind of Massey Harris. But anyway, here's another tractor. This is our hay cutting tractor. This was my grandpa's 47, I think, B John Deere. It's a styled, obviously. It's a hand cranker. This is what we use to cut hay with. It's got a number, I don't remember. It's a 7-foot sickle. We're working on it right now. We had to make a new pinion for it. We're about to cut hay pretty soon, and this is what we cut our hay with. Y'all have seen it in other videos in action, but this was my grandpa's tractor. He bought it to do his farm work with. And anyway, he gave it to us, and we do our hay cutting with it. There's another tractor, Ford Jubilee. It's got a scraper blade behind it, so we use it to scrape the driveway with. Here is, I don't remember the year model of this tractor either, but this is our M. It's got cultivators under it. This is what we use to cultivate the cane every year and cultivate the rest of the garden. Sits here all year until we need to cultivate with it. There's another video for that one we just recently put up. So anyway, good little M. It needs some work sometime. Needs I think it's got a valve not seated right, and anyway, it runs pretty good. Here's the big boy. This is my 48 model G John Deere, or we call it the Pullin' G. It's a styled G John Deere. Got the big old tires, and tires are taller than the M. You can see the difference in the tires. This was the tractor my dad built a tractor pull with, and anyway, we do all the heavy stuff. We got like a 8-foot disc hair that we pull behind it to a disc, and we pull trees up with it and different stuff like that. Any kind of big thing we need to move, the old G here does it. And here's my handy little tractor. I really like this thing. This is my 1710 Ford. It's a little bitty. You can see it's small compared to the big G. But anyway, it's like a 27 horsepower tractor, 3-cylinder. It has a Shabaro engine. It's a Shabaro, but it was sold by Ford. Anyway, nice little tractor. It's got a 1,000 RPM PTO, so that's what I run my finish mower with and mow the yard. And I have put a rotavator or a disc behind it, and it's a good little tractor. The lift, something's wrong with the lift on it. It won't pick up now, so I gotta fix this one too sometime. But anyway, this is just a great little tractor to have. That's the tires. I want to take the tires off that one, put on this one, because these tires, whoever made these tires was on something, I think, because these are the most useless tires in the world. There was no reason for this. I guess they were made so you don't tear up your yard, but you know, I try to use this thing like an actual tractor, and you can't use it like an actual tractor with these tires on it. But anyway, you know, 3-point hitch, PTO. There's no power steering, but that's okay. It's small enough, you don't really need it. Anyway, great little tractor. If anybody ever found one of these, I would suggest to pick it up, because they're great little tractors. I guess one of the last things we got, this is our 3444 International loader. This is the only International we own. This was a backhoe, and then my dad took off the backhoe part and put these big John Deere weights, counterweights. You can see the tires off. We're working on the tire. That's why I gotta run pretty fast here in a second and go help my dad put that tire back on. But anyway, my dad's built this motor a couple times, and anyway, this is like a really good loader tractor because it's super heavy and it has this heavy frame, you know, solid front axle. It's just a backhoe. It's a small backhoe, and we just made it into strictly a loader, and this thing gets it. But anyway, that's all for it. It's a nice old tractor. Here's another thing. I don't know, it's not really been shown on the channel much, but this is my truck. Kind of a project. It runs. I built the motor in it. It's a 454 Chevrolet 77 Scottsdale. My grandpa bought this truck in 1980 for my dad, and this is what they used to haul the pulling tractors with, to shows and to pulls and everything. That's why they bought this truck. Anyway, it's kind of a constant project. I'm always kind of working on it. Anyway, this is my truck. This is my first truck. I built the motor when I was 15 years old, and it's been a good old truck. So anyway, so that's I think the last of the stuff here. Most of the stuff on the farm, this is the stuff we actually use the most, and all this stuff has a purpose. That's why it's on the farm. And I got other stuff that serves less of a purpose, but they're still cool things on other properties. And I'm going to take y'all to a property that y'all don't think I've ever been to that belongs to us. So anyway, we'll see you when. So now I have made it to my next location, which is my grandpa's house, because a lot of our stuff is over here, because our shop, it's kind of over there, is right beside of my grandpa's house. So here's a kind of a project. This is my grandpa's 80 Caprice Classic. I don't know if this has ever really been on film, but this is what he drives. Big old tank. It's pretty. So the good old Caprice, it's been running a long time. So here's some of our old revivals. Here is our unstyled G, or one of our unstyled G's. We call it the Klein G because this is my great grandpa's tractor. It's a 38 model G. I got it running for my grandpa to pull it. He did, and done pretty good. And since then it's kind of been sitting in the shed. I get it out every little bit and crank him up and put him up the road a little bit. Cool to have it run. I can just come out here, and I gotta put a battery in it every time I have an electric ignition now. So I just put a battery in it, crank it, cranks in like 2 or 3. That's bad. This is the tractor that's been sitting the longest, and it cranks better than the rest of them. But I can like 2 or 3 turnovers, rotations, and it cranks and runs. So yep, there's that one. Got my pulling weights. Sadly, I don't have any more pulls this year. Here's my pulling tractor. Just kind of gets to sit out here. Usually I have it in the shop, but it's been out here lately. We use it. Been using it to anytime we have to pull a tractor in the shop or pull any sort of tractor or anything. We come get this thing, cranks right up. This winter it's not going to crank too good. Any little bit of cold where I've got the fuel turned on this thing, it doesn't do good. But if I go right now and crank it, it'll crank right up. But I can't spend too much time on that. I have more videos of that. Here's a project. When I was little, I was wanting to get into lawnmower pulling. This is one I got to lawnmower pull. It's a Cub Cadet 1200, and it's actually got like a shaft, like a clutch and a shaft, just like a regular tractor. That's kind of cool. But yeah, we might do something with that one day. I don't know. It was a cool idea. Get pulling till I got into the big boy, bigger pulling stuff. There's our hay equipment, our baler, and our rake. It's not that big of a deal. Here's an old John Deere plow, a couple old John Deere plows. There's a front end. You'll see a bunch of stuff like this in this video. Just old tractor front ends and stuff. Here's a cool tractor. I'm trying not to get too much of inside the shed, because that's what I'm showing you. Well, that's one cool thing I might get running. I'll walk behind tractor. Here is, can't really see it. Ooh, that back in there. It's called the Grasshopper. It's got, I don't know if you can see it. It says John Deere on the side. It was a homemade John Deere is what we called it. So this was my dad's first tractor, and I'd love to get that thing out one day. And I don't know if that engine's any good, but we'll find an engine, shoot, and get that thing out and run it. My dad used tractor pull with it. Anyway, that'll be a revival one day. That's definitely a future project. Here's some other stuff. An old John Deere Gator. That was my rig back in the day before I had my license. But it was on an old dairy farm, and we got it, and that was my little hot rod. Had a little straight pipe, like I do. Here's a 9N Ford, kind of growed up. I gotta get that out one day. It doesn't run. When we bought it, it didn't run, but I'm gonna sell that when I get it running, so make a little money off of it. Just haven't had the chance. A couple other things. Y'all seen my grandpa's M pull the hammer mill with it. This is the equipment for it. It's got the disc is on it, but here's a little cultivator and a little plow. There's a lawnmower some sort. Anyway, here's a model. I told you we'd see a few of these today. Old 2 cylinders. We have quite a few of them. This was just a tractor. It ran when it was put here, so we might do a revival on this one. Just try to get this thing. I bet it's stuck. I think it moves barely. But anyway, it ran when I parked it, so we'll probably stick a mag on it and a carburetor one day and just try to fire it up. That would be cool. Little shed. It's kind of falling down. There's old tillers. There's a snapper lawnmower. I want to get that right there. I don't know if you can see that. There's bees. There's a John Deere flywheel. Like I said, my dad used to restore tractors, and we obviously still work on tractors. There's a lot of stuff like that around. So here's the good stuff. My grandpa's M runs perfect. Actually, got a tire back there for it. Got the disc behind it. This runs good. Nothing need to be done with that. Here's a cool tractor. It's an unstyled A. Not sure what year model. It's got some sort of homemade lift on it. This is definitely a future project. This will definitely be a cool video. It's covering a bunch of junk, but unstyled A. Pretty cool. We'll get that one running one day. And then back here we have an H Farmall. That's odd. Where the heck did that thing come from? That's a Farmall. I think some of the sheet metal's in here, but anyway. Shoot, that thing has pretty nice wheels on it. Anyway, this is an H Farmall we've had for a long time. My dad traded something for it, and we got it, and you know, it's just kind of the way it goes. We don't have many. This is the only Farmall. We have one International and one Farmall. And anyway, that's kind of we might get that one running for a video one day. It ran. Here's old Sears lawnmower. We have a bunch of lawnmowers. There, another John Deere part. Styled A or B front end. There's the hood for it. There's the other side of that A. It's just covered in stuff. Here's one of my projects. Another one of my revivals. Old D. It's sitting where it was sitting. It doesn't like to crank very good, but I don't know how to fix that. So some days you come out here and crank it, cranks right up. Some days you don't. But anyway, we just take it to shows and stuff, so it's not that big of a deal. Don't have a lot to do with it, you know. I'm wanting to get one of our plow. We have a old plow. Want to get it going, 2-bottom plow, so we can pull it with it. But mechanically, I think it's pretty good. Cranks still. One more thing over here. It's a big thing. This right here. This is my 1968 Impala hardtop. 4-door hardtop. Big boy. I think it's like 20 some feet long. It's a big boy. I'm going to do a video on it one day. Revival. I'm going to crank it. It's my grandpa's car. My grandpa bought this car new in 1968. This was going to be my first car, actually. Kind of a cool story. But I got my old Chevrolet, as y'all saw. My old truck. I got it running. And I started driving it. But anyway, this is definitely a project. Hopefully coming up pretty soon. It needs a lot. But anyway, cool car. Like I said, it's a one owner. My grandpa bought it brand new. It's a 327 turbo fire with a turbo 400. Big car. And this is definitely a project coming up. So hope y'all get to see that pretty soon. I got the title in my name, so definitely coming up. anyway, that's it for this location. I'll be at another location. Alright, so this location might seem a little bit familiar. Looks like a messy place. But this is where I pulled the Klonji from. And there's another one of those flywheels. I had to cut that one off, as you can see. But here's the project. Sitting back here. Styled, not sure what year, H model. This was the smallest of the lay-down engine John Deere's. Cool little tractor, single pipe. That's how you tell it from a B. It's got one pipe instead of two. It's got, I thought those were spoke. Never mind, those aren't spoke. Anyway, cool little tractor. This is going to be cool. Take to shows and stuff. What my plan is I want to get my Impala running, and I'm going to put some springs on it and get me a little trailer and pull this behind my Impala to shows. This would be really cool, because this thing is just tiny. It's really small. It doesn't weigh anything. But anyway, cool little tractor. And well, next stuff. Look there. Big John Deere sign back there. It's kind of cool. There's a mouse or a rabbit or something just yelling at me. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Thing is just angry. I gotta put the only thing wrong with this one, I'm sure I have to build the carburetor, but the governor is out of it, and I should have another governor shaft for it. I think this one broke for some reason. So anyway, I wish I could get back here in the weeds, because that would be a cool video, because we have, I think there's like 15 more tractors. There's a bunch of styled A's, and we have a Minneapolis Moline Z. There's a couple of trucks. This is all, I forgot to walk right by this. This is our 3 horsepower international motor. It's kind of cool. I have so I want to get this one running. Maybe, I don't know. Last time we tried, we couldn't get it running, but anyway, it's a big old. They call these, people refer to these as hit and miss motors. These are not hit and miss motors. These are continuous hit motors, but they've always been called hit and miss motors. But anyway, this is not technically a hit and miss. It continues to run like a regular engine, but the big flywheels and the water tank and everything like that, everybody calls them hit and miss, which is fine. That's not a big deal. You know, you could be technical on everything, but I'm just clearing that up. This is not technically a hit and miss motor. Another thing I have, I can't get to it. I'm working on it. I have a LUC on a frame that I need to get to. Anyway, this is why I can't get to the tractors, because there's briars and goldenrod, I guess, over my head. And come this winter, I'm going to take a bush hog to it. I bush hog this every year. Like, it may not look like it. This spring, I was able to walk out there. Like, and the grass wasn't touching my ankle, and it looks like this. And we just got behind, so I'm sorry. But like I said, they're all kind of junked out tractors, but there are about 15 tractors. Just kind of from that end, they kind of circle the property, and I wish I could get back there. There's a, you can see the roof of it. There's an old Chevrolet truck, OBS Chevrolet. Here's our old van. This thing was a Hoss. It's a 1-ton van. This is the original shop truck, and transmission came out of it. Anyway, we'll get it running too one day. Shoot, everything on this property will get running. Don't worry about that. one day we'll decide just to get something running, and we'll go and do it. As you can see, there's another thing. It's a project. It's been sitting here way too long. This is my little car. It's a Geo Metro. I love this car, and I've got the motor completely apart, and it took forever to find parts for it. And I got all the parts now, and I just have to find time to put it together. But anyway, I love this little car. I grew up in this car, and busted out the taillight on accident the other day. There you go. There's you an exhaust pipe right there. It's like every other thing I own. It has 5 inches of chrome sticking out of it. Straight pipe. Obviously, everything I own either has straight pipe or loud exhaust. I believe it is a sin to put a muffler on a tractor, but you know, cars are about equal. Anyway, I love this little car. This will be maybe a project I might film, but anyway, it's my little Geo Metro. They're 3 cylinders, pretty cool. Here's another project. Turn around. We got a bunch of stuff. This is a 76 Silverado half-ton. I forgot to film my other truck. I have 3 of these. Well, I have 2 3/4 tons, and then this is a half-ton. But I technically have 3 of these. The other one was I have a green one at the house. Anyway, half-ton long bed, 350. I think my sister wants this truck, so my sister, I want to get it running so she can use it for her cattle business, so she can haul feed and stuff. But anyway, good old truck. It runs. The fuel tank has a hole in it, so it doesn't currently kind of run. You can put a nurse tank on it, it'll fire right up. But good old truck. We'll get it running one day. That'll be a good video. Anyway, I'm out here working on stuff. We have a air compressor. It needs a bath. It needs a bath. But our air compressor, it didn't blow the tire. That's the original tire. So it needs a tire. So we got a big service job we do. Our cousin has a bunch of chicken houses and 19 tractors, and we have to go service them. So running them chicken houses, they get a bunch of stuff in the radiators and the air cleaners. So we take this big boy and take it down there. Here's the trailer. We're getting, that's a project. It has new tires on it, but brand new tires, pack wheel bearings, stuff like that. But a floorboard, I fell through it twice this year. And then I fell through it, I don't remember which one I fell through, but this board's covering up when I fell through with a tractor. And then I fell through it again, and then a guy that was loading logs knocked a hole in it with a fork on his tractor. So we're getting a new floorboard pretty soon, next little bit. So if you're worried about that, we're getting a new floorboard here in the next little bit. And here's the tire I was talking about for the loader. We fixed it. There's our work truck. Here's the truck, getting it ready. The 2-ton. I don't know if you've seen this or not. I'm going to get it fixed up pretty soon. I'm going to leave the cab on it, but I'm going to take the front fenders, the steps, and everything off of another truck. I'll show you it here in a second, and swap them because this cab is pretty rough. And then I got to do a bunch of work to the air system, put some new tires on it. And this is going to be my new tractor hauling rig. Get one on the bed, one on the trailer. That way I can haul 2 tractors to the shows and the pulls pretty easily. There's Detroit. It's good. I gotta move this truck out of the way because sorghum is coming up. And there's a couple other things. Gotta get them tires. Those are the, what I call the street tires for the 2640. I gotta put them, I gotta get this one fixed, and I gotta take the cut tires off and put them in a shed, because it's not good for tires to be laying out. I know, but it's kind of hard. Work truck, it's getting an exhaust. Because like I said, this truck has cherry bombs. My truck has cherry bombs. My car's straight piped. All my tractors are straight piped. This one has stock exhaust, which is a massive muffler. And we're not straight piping it because that kind of sounds, these trucks kind of sound dumb, straight piped. I don't know. But I got an exhaust ordered from Summit Racing that we're going to put on it. And that's going to be a video. So that's going to be fun. But anyway, so it's also a project. Everything's a project. But anyway, that's it for these two properties. I've got 3 properties down. That's nice. I got one more property to show you. And it's my biggest property. So this is probably going to be it might be a 2-part video because I'm already 30 minutes into this. Walking around. I haven't showed you everything. Here, I'm just showing you some of the stuff that's going to be projects and some of our equipment. I haven't showed you everything. So it's might be a 2-part video. But anyway, I'm going to the next property and show you some more stuff. But you've never been in this property, I don't think.